Hi, I'm Tiffany Peterson, and in today's session, we're going to be focusing on the 5 tips for successful goal achievement. We know that goals are powerful. Whether you want to quote Tony Robbins or Jack Canfield, or you want to go to scriptural text, your spiritual teacher, whatever source you want to go to, we know there is great power in having clear, specific goals that can help guide your life. Now, there's a few ways that we can get snagged if our goals are not set up in the right way to support our success. So I'm going to share with you these 5 tips to make sure that your goals are in alignment with these concepts to help set you up to be successful, to achieve your goals faster, more effectively, and with a lot more fun and joy than perhaps what you're currently experiencing. So when you think about setting goals, just become aware. How do you feel? Do you feel excited? Do you feel heavy? Is it something you believe in? Sometimes you have what we call emotional scar tissue. Maybe you've set goals in the past and didn't achieve them. So now there's kind of some scar tissue there emotionally about re-engaging. We know, again, goals are powerful. I'll just give you one simple statistic. For those of you watching or listening that you want a raise, you want to increase your income, it's been proven time and time again. One specific study comes from a gentleman named Dave Cole out of Virginia Tech University's professor emeritus. And in this study, as they observed different people with goals, those that had goals in writing versus goals that maybe you just thought about. People who were in the habit of regularly writing their goals down. That means not just thinking about or speaking about, but committing pen to paper or putting in writing on your laptop. People that regularly write their goals down earn an average of 9 times more over the course of their lifetimes than those who do not. I think that's great incentive as it is, right? But I think there's something that happens when we actually put our goals in writing, that we're seeing a different commitment. It's as if we're the creator. It's been said that all things are created twice, first spiritually or mentally, and second then physically. So as you start to put your goals in writing, think that you're actually like a life architect, where you're mapping out the blueprint to create the outcome and the results of the life that you're consciously building. So let's look at tip number 1. Tip number 1 in having successful goals is that your goals are written in a manner that are clear and specific. I want you to think of the analogy when you're ordering food at a restaurant. If you walked into a restaurant and simply said, "Hey, I'm hungry, bring me some food," that's pretty vague, and vague goals produce vague results. So if you want to increase the influence of the success of your goals happening, is get really clear and specific. See, in your brain, there's a little, at the base of your brain stem is what we call the reticular activating system, or RAS. And that helps us filter a ton of information. Right now, there's a lot of information around you that we may not even be aware of because you're focused in on this video or this audio. But that reticular activating system helps us filter in. So if you were to set a goal that sounds like, "I'd like a new car," well, you're clear you want a new vehicle, right? Similar if you went and ordered food at a restaurant, "I'd like to eat," versus you want something clear and specific, that you want that Porsche Carrera 911 cherry red, right? Or whatever, again, it may be for you. It's the same thing, though, is thinking through your goals, whether that's losing some weight and getting in better shape, if it's producing sales and income, those numbers or activities, if it's getting organized, if it's growing your network, is becoming really clear and specific that for anyone that was to come and read your goals, they'd know exactly what you wanted and exactly what you're looking for. It begins with clarity. Clarity is the beginning of creation. This is an important step, and it's one that I don't think is a small feat. Even just entertaining the question sometimes, "What do you want?" can feel a little overwhelming, but it's worth it for you to take time, whether it's in prayer, meditation, journaling, but getting clear and specific. What do you want in your business, in your sales, in your team, in leadership? What do you want results level of, maybe it's PR, social media? What do you want personally and in a relationship, right? What do you want to experience in your home or community or church? Or how do you want to feel more regularly? Getting clear and specific will serve you a long way, right? It's been well said that a problem well defined is half solved. For your own mind, subconsciously, to be highly engaged and to create what you want, the more clear and specific, the better off you'll be. Tip number 2 is simply, is it measurable? Going along with clear and specific, is it measurable? Could you measure your goal, right? So let's say one of your goals, and health is a popular one, let's say one of your goals is that you want to be 20 pounds lighter. Well, rather than just saying, I want to lose weight, or I want to be healthy, is perhaps you write, I love, or I feel alive and great at this weight by this date. Now that all rhymed, and I truly did not plan that out, so that's pretty cute and funny. But measurable, right, is saying if by this date and this time that you weigh X amount, rather than, hey, I think I just want to be healthier, is that you're clear on that, maybe body fat percentage, right, or the time that you run in. Now, for some of you, that's not your goal and focus, and maybe it's becoming more focused. For another popular goal is financial. And you might be saying, I want to make more money. Well, that's, again, back to the menu example. You walk into a restaurant, I want more food. I'm hungry. Rather than saying specifically, here's the target that I want to achieve in income and in sales, or how your open rate or your conversion rate. Whatever goals you have, if you first go, okay, is it clear, specific, but could I also measure it, will serve you a great deal. Now, number 3 is where the juice is at. And by the juice, because it's where the motivation is. Is your motivation defined? The motivation piece, or in essence, your why you want this goal, is going to be what actually motivates you. It's the fuel for the achievement of your goal, right? So a lot of times, let's say, as I'm coaching someone in sales, this will come up frequently as they're saying they want to increase their income, right? And let's say their goal is they want to make $100,000. Well, that number isn't what's going to actually motivate them. It's what that number will provide for them. So take time to be clear. Is your motivation defined? Just setting, like the example, a weight loss goal, I'm sorry, I don't think that's going to motivate you very much. But talking about in your goal setting, things like, I want to have the energy and vitality to show up more fully alive in life. I want to play with my grandkids. I want to have energy to do this or that, or I want to feel confident in a swimsuit all year long. Whatever your goals are is attaching to what's your why or your motivation. Same thing in your sales numbers or sales goals is knowing clearly, why are you doing what you're doing? What is it for you? What matters most to you? Again, a lot of this is some deep, what I'd call mental or spiritual Olympics. Goal setting, I don't think, is for the faint of heart. It requires us to really look at and become clear. Just like if you were going to build that house and pull out those architect plans, it requires you to be that checked into your life to say, I am the conscious creator of what I'm experiencing. And so what do I want to experience? Is it measurable? And then looking at, why do I want it? Why does this matter to me? And allowing, it's almost as if you're giving your heart a microphone and saying, all right, heart, what do we want? What do I want to create? And utilizing that then as you get clarity to say, this is the fuel that is going to motivate you. For me, my why in business is 100%. As I like to say, some of you have heard me say this phrase, God is my CEO. For me, being a teacher and a speaker and a coach has everything to do with this is my calling. I've been a teacher for a really long time. I just thought it was going to take a different shape and form. And so for me, being in a space of service, of connection, of helping people change their lives, that motivates me to do more and do more, even when things are comfortable, right? Is being able to say, okay, this is what drives why I'm doing this. Tip number 4, this one is juicy, is set your goals in what you want to move towards achieving, the outcome of what you want. See, again, thinking of your mind, most of your brain is subconscious. So much of what you're doing every single day is just done on autopilot, right? Driving your car sometimes, cooking food, getting showered and ready, or a variety of different things are done on just a subconscious level. And so it's becoming aware that you want to set your goals, number 1, as what you do want versus what you don't want. So you do not want to put into writing things like, I don't eat sugar anymore, or I'm off Diet Coke, or I am getting out of debt. Because see, you're fueling your mind. So your mind thinks in pictures. Right now, I want all of you to see in your mind a bright, juicy, luscious yellow lemon. You got it? Right? Is your mind is like a little movie. So you're always seeing in pictures. So it's really critical that you set your goals towards what you're wanting to become, towards the outcome that you want. So I'll give you 2 examples in weight and in money. So when someone's telling me they want to lose weight, your subconscious mind doesn't want to lose anything. And so it's important that you set for yourself that you're moving towards. What's the weight you want, the number that you want? So rather than saying I lose 10 pounds or lose 20 pounds or whatever that goal looks like, is to subtract the number where you're at and focus your mind towards the number on the scale that you're after. Now, I would personally say elaborate more than just the number on the scale. It's just a number. What matters more is, are you alive? Are you passionate? Are you excited? Same thing though in money is a lot of people will say, I want to pay off debt, right? One of my clients years ago, one of her goals working together was she wanted to pay off the credit card debt that she had. So we worked together on that, and rather than saying I'm debt-free, now some of you could say I'm debt-free and it doesn't trigger you, but for many of you, when you even hear or think, or most importantly, feel the word debt, it brings you down, it's heavy, it feels negative, it feels like this heavy cloak is on you, right? We don't want that, because again, emotions is that fuel a part of what you're creating. We want to trigger the positive emotions. So rather than saying again that I'm debt-free or I'm out of debt, you may want to consider that you have a zero balance on all of your credit card accounts or this credit card account, whatever that looks like. My client Heather went on to achieve that for herself years ago as she was focused on, I want to be here by this date. It was clear and specific. It was measurable. She was clear why she wanted that and the feeling of freedom and the ability to grow and do other things and not feel, a slave to that debt. And it was towards what she wanted to experience, right? So think of for yourself what you want to move towards versus away from. So if you're saying, I don't want to eat sugar anymore, then talk about the foods you are eating and the health and the green juicing. In my own goals, it says I eat greens every single day. It talks more about what I do want versus what I don't want. Because you fuel your mind with images, pictures, and emotions. And when you do that, you simply keep recreating that. That's the orders you're giving to your subconscious mind, to the universe, to God, saying, hey, I don't want this, this, and this, and this, but you keep focusing on it. And what you focus on expands or gets bigger, right? I love this tip. It's not one that I see too frequently out there in goal-setting material, but it makes a massive difference to your success. And tip number 5 to help you increase your success at achieving your goals is to put accountability into your life. A great friend of mine, Kip Kent, is a master coach, says this: accountability, not ability, determines your results. I'll say that one more time. Accountability, not ability, determines your results. Every single one of you within the sound of my voice have the ability and talents. You have so much that you can be doing. You have great knowledge, gifts, talents, but it's what we take action upon. And sometimes when it's just simply our own goals and not the goals of our boss or our manager, we can let ourselves off the hook, right? We have good intentions, but we let our emotions run the show. Truly, I'm a believer that if you could learn to master your emotions, you can create anything you want in life. Now, that's a really difficult task, to master your emotions. Emotions makes being alive fantastic, but all the varying emotional states that we go through, from encouraged and passionate and checked in to discouraged to, disappointed to feeling tired or not in the mood, right? I know when I'm serious about achieving my next level in anything, I hire a coach or I bring it to my mastermind group. There's several ways you can put accountability in your life. You can hire a coach, you can get an accountability partner in your life, you can form a mastermind. There's lots of ways to do that, to have other people help champion you and cheer you on, right? So again, like for myself, I know when I'm saying I'm ready to up-level my organization, my health, my business, I want to grow, is I put accountability into my life intentionally, that it's their job as the group, cohesiveness, to lift everyone up as we move forward. So these 5 tips will help you significantly increase your odds of success. Number 1, get some goals, right? If we don't have them, but it's always a good time to tune in. What are my goals? What do I want to create, right? Set clear and specific goals. Set goals that are measurable. Get really clear on your why, your motivation, that's your fuel. And also set your brain up to support you by having your goals written in a way that inspires images and emotions of what you do want and giving fuel and energy to what you do want versus to what you don't want. And simply number 5 again is that you put some accountability into your life where there's a support system behind you to help you get to where you want to be. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want more tips and tools and staying connected, I invite you to go to tiffanyspeaks.com and opt in so we can stay connected there. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another session. Thanks so much.